doubt it. Is it on? Nothing's fucking loading on my screen.
Oh, is this our opening thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's playing.
Mine's just not.
It's just this on loop.
Oh, we're up. We're up. Okay.
Okay.
We're up. Okay. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, we're on.
All right. Let me keep everyone entertained for a moment. Greg, I will be right back. It's just me and you watching right now.
All right.
Okay. Send everybody the new link if you would. You'll have to do it from your phone.
Oh, yeah.
Send it to my mom. Send it to the Chris's.
Dead squirrel on the road yesterday.
I just got it up. They can actually all hear me right now. I don't know what the fuck Rumble was doing, but it is a piece of shit right now. And they can have that on the podcast
chilling, man.
and share it.
It looked like it died throwing hands.
They can also
hear me
if
it was like a car
about Rumble
or no squirrel took him out.
Hey, Corn. So I'm not really sure what the hell happened. We had to shut down the whole stream and restart it to get the audio and the video to work. I do apologize. We are the shittiest podcast on Rumble, but this was the shittiest Rumble about our podcast. This was Rumble's fault. Rumble Studio.
We blame Rumble.
I don't know who the fuck actually designs this bullshit for it to not fucking work, but it took me about 10 minutes of talking. And it was probably the greatest intro into our podcast ever. Greg even looked at me and was like, "Wow, Tom, that was spectacular. That was the greatest intro I've ever heard." I don't know that I can carry that energy again. I'm not sure that I'll ever find it. He actually asked me what was wrong with me and why I was talking that way. But that's okay. It's cool. Whatever, Greg. As a matter of
we got 3 viewers.
All right, let's see. You're going to get to look at my floor for a second.
Oh, it's gone.
And it's gone. And it's
back. Oh, it's back.
It's still there? Okay. All right. Give me just a second, folks, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you liked the intro. Our little placeholder video.
Yeah. I thought it was an ad. It was so professionally done.
It was so good.
Doors open and shut. Make sure my shit locked up, man.
No, it was next door.
Shut up.
You can't. You shut up.
Why?
No. Greg's tripping.
Look like I had a light on where there's a reflection.
That's funny.
I was like, oh, great. Now my battery's going to be dead. Gonna be fried.
Well, most modern cars
fried like rice
have the capability not to. Even the Suzuki will turn it off.
But, you know, sometimes you like click it on and they forget.
Yeah. All right, let's get this thing Let's get this party started.
Started.
We got important shit to talk about. We got 4 people watching us now. 4 poor souls. Settings. Zoom in. Oh, that's too much. We gotta move it toward Greg. Get Greg in there. Get Gregor McGreg in there.
Greg McGregor.
Greg McGregor. Oh, we've lost somebody already.
Fucking gay.
You know, guys, I tried. This stupid ass shit. I was in a really good mood when this one started. It was actually like gonna be one of our best podcasts ever. We had 9 people waiting. We were up to 9, Greg. We were up
9.
damn it, you beat me to it. I was building for the intensity of that.
He was building.
For that.
But it took
9.
too long. It took way too long.
Way too long. We lost all the people watching.
Yes.
Everyone was interested,
Sweet.
but now they're not. They were like, this is truly the shittiest podcast on Rumble.
Yeah.
Why are we watching this? Oh, we're at 4 again. We're at 4. 4. Get us back to 9 and we'll start. Get us back to where I'm just kidding. I don't
Goes
even...
back to 3.
Yeah, fuck this.
Well, never mind.
All right. So I do apologize once again for the start. Rumble Studio just decided that it wasn't going to show any audio or video. I'm sure it's my fault. By my fault, I mean Rumble Studio's fault for having a product that works 50% of the time, 100% of the time. Those who know that statement know that statement is actually 60% of the time, 100% of the time.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what? Go eat your Uncrustable. I'm going to leave the rest of that statement in my brain. But you
my
know
brain. Oh, yeah.
Don't want to get canceled. All right. Welcome back, Ultra MAGA Nation. Smash that green Rumble button, hit subscribe, and drop a line in the live chat because tonight we are covering the absolute wild spectrum of American life from our own school board backyards here in Bay County all the way to high-tech anti-fraud AI, fake news media hoaxes, and Donald Trump taking a sledgehammer to the deep state leakers. Let's kick things off right here in our own Panhandle backyard, where the local political scene is getting downright spicy ahead of the August 18th primary. If you live in Bay County, you know District 3 school board race has turned into an absolute 4-way showdown. You've got Navy veteran and incumbent Chris Moore holding down the fort against 3 eager challengers in John Haley, Glenn Manley, and Colleen Coach. Now, nobody envies a school board member when budget shortfalls start staring everyone in the face.
Staring start.
But voters are asking the simple common sense question. Why are we constantly seeing administrative central office bloat while teachers are digging into their own pockets for classroom supplies? Bay County parents don't want glossy bureaucratic slide desks or endless consultant studies. They want lean budgets, rigorous academics, and absolute transparency on where every single tax dollar goes. It's a classic Panhandle primary fight. Make sure our local schools stay focused on teaching kids how to read and write and think for themselves rather than funding administrative fluff. And speaking of keeping government lean and holding people accountable with taxpayer money, look at what the state of Florida is doing on a macro level. While blue states up north are practically mailing out public assistance checks with zero questions asked, Florida is dropping $4 million on advanced artificial intelligence audit systems to sweep through SNAP and state welfare rolls. The AI is scanning for systematic fraud, duplicate benefit claims, and out of state freeloaders exploiting the system. Predictably, out of state activists and Washington bureaucrats are hyperventilating, claiming it's too aggressive. But hey, here in the Sunshine State, we call that protecting working families. If you are genuinely down on luck, the safety net is there to help you. Stand back up. But if you're sitting on the couch in another state trying to harvest Florida benefits, our state algorithms are coming for you. It turns out that when you apply actual technology to government accountability, you save millions of tax dollars for the folks that actually pay the freight. Now, while Florida is using modern tech to stop government waste, a federal court in Texas just handed federal regulatory overreach one of its biggest black eyes in recent years. A federal judge ruled the National Firearms Act regulations on firearm suppressors cannot be enforced against products manufactured and sold strictly within state borders. Think about the sheer absurdity of the federal government's decade-long obsession with suppressors. Hollywood spent 50 years convincing bureaucrats that a suppressor turns a rifle into a whisper-quiet assassination tool. When in reality, it's basically hearing protection that every civilized nation in Europe lets hunters buy over the counter. In Europe, where most guns are illegal, this ruling is a massive victory for the Second Amendment and state sovereignty. It tells the federal agencies in no uncertain terms that their regulatory creepiness stops at the state line. If a free state wants its citizens to protect their eardrums without paying a $200 permission slip to Washington, that is a standard constitutional liberty. And finally, we have to talk about the absolute media circus out of Washington, where the mainstream press is running and screaming that the U.S. military is running out of missiles. Well, guys, I hate to tell you, maybe I don't, it's total fake news hit. Shopped around by anonymous deep state leakers at the Pentagon trying to make American national security look weak. President Donald Trump got caught wind of the fake news reports and blew the entire narrative sky high, like our missiles do, confirming that our arsenals are stocked. The Zim just hit me in the back of the throat. I'm like, okay. The American factories are building more defensive plants right now than at any time in national history, and that the Justice Department is actively hunting down those treasonous leakers for prison time. Far from running dry, our defense industry is booming right here in Northwest Florida, anchored by Eglin and Tyndall Air Force bases. Our local defense corridor is leading the charge in testing, deploying the most advanced weaponry to ensure peace through overwhelming American strength. From local school boards fighting for budget sanity to state AI catching fraud, federal judges defending the Second Amendment, and Donald Trump crushing deep state hoaxes, it all comes down to accountability, common sense, and freedom. Once again, smash that Rumble button, share the stream, hit the live chat, and stay tuned in. We are just getting started on Ultra MAGA Nation. Is that Alex Jones enough?
A little bit.
I felt like that was pretty good.
Well, Alex Jonesy.
A little Alex Jonesy. I mean, I'm not talking about holding my wiener and smoking a cigarette while explosions. We should probably find it, because now the audience, all 5 of them, 6 of them. 6 of you are wondering what the hell I'm talking
What the fuck are you talking about, Tom?
about. I don't even know.
The frogs are gay.
The frogs are gay. If you're watching live on Rumble, hit that like button, jump into the chat. Let's get to business. Tonight, we are opening the show right in our own Panhandle backyard with a deep dive into that four-way political showdown in Bay County School District 3's primary race. If you lived in Bay County for more than 5 minutes, you know that our local school board meetings have turned into primetime local theater. We've got an August 18th primary vote right around the corner, a looming decision on whether and how to ask local taxpayers to renew that half-cent sales tax before it expires in 2030, a district dealing with declining student enrollment, and back-to-back budget overruns, $5 million in the red last year and another $7 million in the red this year. We have scoured the campaign financial ledgers, pulled the public forum transcripts, checked the court dockets, ran full background sweeps, and categorized the pros and the cons on every single contender so you have the total truth when you walk into that voting booth. So let me lay out all 4 candidates line by line, including their background, their platforms, what they stand for, what they hate, their pros, their cons, and yes, their official criminal arrest records, which, surprise, surprise, is 0 on all 4 candidates. But we'll get to that. Candidate 1, Chris Moore, or Christopher Moore, the incumbent. First up, sitting in the hot seat, is the incumbent board member. Chris is a lifelong Bay County resident, a graduate of Bay District Schools, a 24-year U.S. Navy veteran who served across 13 different duty stations before getting elected into the District 3 seat back in 22. He stands for and wants what he stands for and wants done. Sorry, can't read. Went to school in Bay County. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, I really did go to school in Bay County. Government transparency, supporting military families, preserving public input at meetings, and addressing facility needs. His famous personal mantra, borrowed directly from an old boss in the Navy, is that sunshine is the best disinfectant. And he cites Florida's sunshine law as the sacred standard for opening government. What he opposes? Well, he vehemently opposes cutting off audio and video feeds during public comments at school board meetings. When the board pulled the plug on streaming those public comments minutes to virtual viewers, Chris publicly called out that decision, arguing that if a citizen gets 3 minutes to address their government, 100% of the community ought to hear what they have to say. Now, while Chris is fighting for open microphones, his campaign bank account is looking lighter than a bag of potato chips. He's sitting dead last in campaign fundraising, having generated only $7,200 for his reelection effort. This is about half of what a classroom teacher challenger raised in less than a third of what the other 2 challengers have amassed. Why you should vote for him. And I'm not saying you should necessarily vote for him. This is just his pros. 24 years of honorable Navy service, undeniable personal integrity, a consistent record of standing up for public transparency, and he is obviously not beholden to big money donors or special interest PACs. What you should vote for him for, the cons. He has presided over back-to-back budget deficits, $5 million last year, $7 million this year. During his term, he hasn't halted the multi-year decline in public school enrollment, and he has assembled the weakest, least funded campaign infrastructure in the race. We ran Chris Moore through FDLE and local court dockets. His record is squeaky clean. 0 arrests, 0 charges, clean background. Candidate 2, Dr. John Haley, the heavyweight fundraiser. Next on the ballot, we have Dr. John Haley. John is a former principal of Arnold High School, a former executive director of operations for Bay District Schools, a former teacher, dean, and assistant principal, as well as a local real estate builder and landlorder.
A landlord.
A landlord. His core campaign platform is students first, politics last. He wants strict fiscal discipline to halt overspending, improved school security protocols, better support for frontline staff like bus drivers and paraprofessionals, expanded career and technical education, and sensible policies to increase student enrollment. He opposes political agendas or media headlines driving classroom instruction. He opposes objectionable or sexually inappropriate library books, as any person should, that lack educational value. He opposes replacing dedicated human teachers with digital screen-based dependency. John leads the money race with $29,500 raised. He is the only candidate in the race who has brought a high school to an A rating status. Furthermore, while working as a district administrator, he created a digital energy savings initiative called the Central Digital Control that saved local taxpayers over $2 million in utility bills. On safety, during his 9 years as a high school administrator, he personally worked with law enforcement to assist in the arrest of 240 narcotics offenders to keep drugs off school grounds. The pros: unmatched administrative credentials across every level of education, a proven track record of saving millions in taxpayer dollars. Millions. $1 million. Strong law and order campus security experience, and clear financial plans to fix budget shortfalls. The cons: opponents label him as central office insider who held executive administrative positions while current budget problems took root. And he carries the heaviest donor backing from real estate and corporate interests. Personal background check results: 0 arrests, 0 charges, clean record. And as noted, he actively helped lock up 240 campus drug pushers while serving as principal. Candidate number 3, Glenn Manley. The local veteran educator, Glenn Manley, is a 38-year Bay County educator who has worn practically every hat in the system: classroom, teacher, coach, athletic director at Bay High School, and school administrator. Asking tough financial questions on the board, eliminating rubber stamp approvals, protecting taxpayer dollars, supporting frontline educators, and heavily expanding trade and vocational programs for non-college bound students. He opposes unchecked administrative spending, neglecting trade-bound students, and placing central office bureaucracy ahead of classroom needs. Glenn is hot on Haley's heels in the money race, bringing in over $22,000 in campaign contributions. His campaign Facebook page is packed with endorsements from generational local families, former students, and fellow educators who have worked alongside him for nearly 4 decades. The pros: 38 years of direct on-the-ground experience here in Bay County schools, massive organic community respect, and a dedicated focus on building up trade and vocational opportunities for local students. The con: represents the traditional education establishment rather than the disruptive outsider, and he was occasionally slow to return public media questionnaires during the campaign cycle. We ran the checks: 0 arrests, 0 charges, clean background. Candidate 4, Colleen Cooch. Coach, how do you think you say that name?
It looks like cock. It's like heckler and cock, right? Like
KOCH?
yeah, like the gun, heckler and cock.
Okay.
How they say it like
In the comments, tell us how to say her last name. Finally, rounding out the four-way field, we have the grassroots outsider. Colleen is currently active Bay District Schools classroom teacher, a mother of 5 children, currently enrolled in public schools across the district. She wants to reduce excessive classroom screen time, bring back cursive writing and handwriting focus, restore cash payment options at school events, reevaluating the district uniform policy, and advocates for parental rights. She opposes digital-only event ticketing that locks out cash-paying customers over digitized learning environments where laptops replace traditional teachers, a rigid uniform enforcement that annoys parents. Colleen has raised $15,000 directly from grassroots parents and fellow teachers, more than double what the incumbent raised. She jumped into the race primarily out of frustration over screen time and practical daily grievances that every parent experiences. The pros: the only candidate on the ballot with the immediate real-time perspective of being both an active classroom teacher and a parent with 5 kids currently in the district. She focuses on real-world parent frustrations without any central office political baggage. The cons: complete lack of administrative district budgeting or elected board experience, which means a steep learning curve when dealing with state funding formulas and multi-million-dollar line items. The background check, once again, 0 arrests, 0 charges, squeaky clean. So there you have it. 4 clean records, 4 distinct visions for District 3, and 1 crucial vote on August 18th. Make your voice heard. Guys, I'm not telling you who to vote for on that one. We're just here to bring the facts. It's something that's important here locally in Bay County. And hell, it's not going to reach nationwide news, nor should it. You have candidates that at most got $29,000 in campaign contributions. So, it's not like they're being funded by Big Pharma. I know who I'm going to vote for, but I'm going to keep that to me because we're not here to tell you who to vote for. We're just here to tell you the facts.
present the facts.
Yeah, I stumbled on that one. You could have come up with that when I was sitting there.
I just did.
All right, family. Put your hands together for this story, because if you thought the local school board politics was a wild ride, wait till you hear what is happening in Tallahassee right now.
You just wait.
Florida is taking the national lead on something every single tax-paying American can get behind. use the US. Sorry, guys, the beginning of the podcast fucked me up, so I'm a little behind right now. Every Florida taxpayer is taking the national lead on something every single tax-paying American can get behind, using cutting-edge, high-tech, artificial intelligence to audit welfare rolls, root out fraud, and fix government incompetence. Lord, please fix government incompetence. Now, let me lay out the numbers for you, because when you see the data, you will realize why Washington bureaucrats and blue state politicians are practically breaking out in hives over what Governor DeSantis and the Florida legislator, it's easy for you to say, legislator are doing. The Florida legislator just appropriated $4 million into the Department of Children and Families budget. The state ordered the DCF to hire a top-tier artificial intelligence vendor by September 1st. And what is this top tier artificial intelligence vendor? Well, let me just reread the fucking line. Come on, Tom, get it together. And what is this AI system designed to do? It uses machine learning to conduct massive, large scale audits on SNAP, that Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known as food stamps. It analyzes eligibility, catches enormous data entries, flags duplicate application, and stops fraudulent payments before they ever leave the state vault. Now, I know that sounds however it sounds, but you have to realize all of those things are funded by your tax dollars. That's why it's important. Why is Florida moving with the speed of a lightning bolt on this? Because according to the official U.S. Department of Agriculture data, Florida's SNAP wow. Had a baby, it's a boy. Had a baby, it's a boy. Had a baby, it's a boy. Gotta get that mouth working. Gotta get that boom, boom, bow.
Boom, boom, bat.
Florida's SNAP payment error rate is sitting at 12.97%. Now, to be fair, that is down from 15.1% the year before, but the federal acceptable limit is 6%. And the vast majority of those errors aren't underpayments, they're overpayments. People getting checks they shouldn't get, people receiving double benefits, or system glitches handing out extra cash. And here is where the rubber meets the road. Under the new federal accountability rules, specifically the one big, beautiful bill, any state with SNAP error rate sitting above 10% is going to get hit with a massive financial hammer. Starting in late 2027, the federal government will force those states to pay 15% of the total benefit costs right out of their own state coffers. For Florida, if we don't bring that 12.97% error rate down fast, state taxpayers will be handed an eye-watering $1 billion bill, specifically $984 million in state penalties. Now, if you're a normal working class Floridian who pays their taxes, you hear that and say, heck yeah, spend $4 million to save $1 billion. That's an incredible trade.
Yeah.
In fact, the state financial records show for every single dollar Florida spends on public assistance, fraud detection, we get $11.36 returned directly to the state coffers. That's an 11-to-1 return on investment. And that is a no-brainer. If I could get $11 for every $1 I spend,
Yeah.
all day.
Golden.
On top of that, Florida already runs the leanest welfare administration in the entire United States, spending just $13 per case per month, the lowest administrative cost in America. So instead of hiring 5,000 new paper-pushing government bureaucrats to sit in cubicles and slowly shuffle paperwork, Florida's saying, no thanks, we'll use AI to scan the data instantaneously and keep government lean. And guess who's panicking? Just guess. Guys,
guess.
in the chat right now, in the chat, can you guess who's panicking? Anybody? Anybody? The Democrats. I know. It's wild.
Crazy.
It's wild. The Democrats and, of course, Congressman Maxwell Frost and 6 other Florida Democrat lawmakers just fired off an urgent 5-page letter to Governor DeSantis and the DCF demanding an immediate freeze and give the state until August 10th to answer a barrage of frantic questions. They are claiming that using AI is unproven and it's moving too fast, and that the algorithm might be mean to applicants. Mean. AI's mean now. Wait a minute. I thought the Democrats wanted data centers. Give me a break. They aren't worried about algorithms getting it wrong. They're terrified that the algorithm is going to get it right. Because when you turn on the high-tech spotlight, you actually catch criminals. Just look at what the CFO and Attorney General James Ootmeyer's Public Assistance Fraud Task Force uncovered recently. In a single 1 month sweep, 1 month, they busted 12 individuals and shut down over $806,000 in public assistance fraud. That's 806,000 tax dollars in public assistance fraud. We're talking about ringleaders using synthetic identities, stolen social security numbers, EBT card skimmers, and out-of-state addresses used to harvest hundreds of thousands of dollars in Florida SNAP and Medicaid benefits. And here's the bottom line. If you're a low-income senior, a struggling parent, or a Floridian who genuinely needs a helping hand to get back on your feet, the safety net's there for you. But if you're a scam artist sitting in another state using fake identities to leech off of Florida taxpayers, the Sunshine State's new AI algorithms are coming for you. That is called fiscal sanity. This is protecting taxpayer cash, and this is why Florida remains the gold standard for state governance. Now, smash that like button at the bottom of your screen. Drop your thoughts in the live chat. Tell us what you think about it. And don't go anywhere, because we got more fire coming for you next. Realistically, who's going to get mad about catching people for stealing money?
Yeah, I know.
Like, why would you send a 5-page letter to the governor like, oh my God, you're stopping people defrauding us from taxpayers' money. How dare you?
How dare ye?
How dare you stop us from stopping people from taking money from people that actually need it? Like, Jesus, this is shit. Like, the fact that this is even a conversation on whether this should be used is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
If I was Bernie Sanders, I'd be like, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. That $806,000 should go to one of my mansions. Eat the rich. As if I was Bernie Sanders.
Bernie.
If I was Bernie.
Bernie.
You got the next one. You got the next one.
All right. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up. Smash that like button, which is also the thumbs up. And get ready.
Get ready.
This story is an absolute celebration for constitutional liberty, common sense, and the Second Amendment.
What amendment?
The second.
Okay.
Number two.
Number two. Protects the first.
Yeah, and all of them, really.
It does protect all of them.
If you love freedom, if you love constitutional originalism, or if you simply prefer not having your eardrums blown out when you go to a target shooting at the range, you should probably wear ear protection.
You should definitely wear ear pro.
But silencers do help with that. You're gonna want to crank the volume up for this one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk as loud as Tom. All right, let's see. On Wednesday, August 5th, 2026, a federal judge in the Northern District of Texas handed down a historic 66-page ruling in the combined cases of Silencer Shop Foundation versus ATF and Jensen versus ATF. United States District Judge James Wellesley Hendricks, Jimi Hendrix, officially ruled that the federal government's 92-year-old registration, not that Jimi Hendrix. Oh. Unfortunately. Dang. It'd be crazy if he was a judge, because he is also dead. Dead for a while. He died in 1969.
It kind of looks
1970.
Kind of looks like this guy, but without the mustache.
Yeah. Jimmy had a mustache for a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
Not like that, though.
Not like that.
Let's see here.
Pistol Pete.
It ruled that the federal government's 92-year-old registration, fingerprinting, photo submission, and advanced approval scheme for firearms suppresses short-barreled rifles and short-barreled shotguns under the National Firearms Act is completely unequivocally unconstitutional.
Bullshit.
What? Now, to truly appreciate how hilarious and brilliant this legal victory is, you have to understand the legal trap card that Second Amendment groups just sprung on the federal government. Way back in 1934,
Gotcha, bitch!
when Congress originally passed the National Firearms Act, lawmakers knew they didn't have the explicit constitutional authority under the Second Amendment to simply ban firearms or accessories. So they pulled a slick bureaucratic maneuver. They invoked Congress's Article 1 taxing power. They slapped a $200 tax stamp on suppressors and short-barreled rifles, which was a fortune back in 34. And they built a massive federal registration system solely under the legal excuse of ensuring that the $200 tax was collected. For 92 years, the federal government maintained that registry, forcing law-abiding citizens to submit fingerprints, passport photos, and wait months on end for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and explosives permission slips, all under the guise of collecting a tax.
Here you go, Greg. Here's your permission slip.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have my $200?
Is that the Constitution, sir? Because that's my permission slip, but I still follow all the laws.
Yes, we do follow laws.
Follow the laws.
We do follow laws. Follow the laws.
Follow the laws. The tax went to zero. I don't know. Fast forward to 2025. Would that be 2026? Okay, if they passed a bill in 2025.
Yeah.
Congress passed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
One big beautiful bill.
Big beautiful bill. Beautiful dogs. Which dropped the transfer in making taxes on suppressors, short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and any other weapons. If you fill it out these forms, you know what that
Anybody with AOWs.
Yeah. Down to $0. The tax went to zero, but the ATF tried to keep enforcing the massive paperwork registry anyway, which is illegal. So gun rights organizations, including the Second Amendment Foundation, Gun Owners of America, the Firearms Policy Coalition, the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, Silencer Shop, and a coalition of 15 state attorneys general marched right into federal court and said, Hold on a minute. What in tarnation? What in tarnation? If the tax is $0, you aren't collecting any tax revenue. And if you aren't collecting revenue, you can't use the taxing power to force citizens into a federal registry. Boom. And Judge Hendricks agreed 100%. In his opinion, he wrote the line that is going straight into the Legal Hall of Fame. Quote, because today's NFA does not generate any revenue from untaxed firearms, its regulatory provisions cannot be upheld under the taxing power. And there is no sign in the NFA's text, structure, or statutory history that Congress invoked any other power in crafting the NFA provisions, hard word, at issue. Thus, the regulatory provisions must be enjoined as unconstitutional because they exceed Congress's enumerated powers. Boom.
Unconstitutional.
Enumerated powers. Boom. Talk about pulling the legal rug out from underneath nearly a century of federal bureaucratic overreach. Now let's talk about common sense for a second, because Hollywood has spent 50 years brainwashing the public into believing that the suppressor turns a hunting rifle into some whisper quiet assassin device. It does not. It's absurd. A suppressor is literally a metal tube filled with baffles that muffles the muzzle blast down to ear-safe levels.
Wear ear pro.
Yeah, always wear ear pro. And eye pro. In Europe, where they have some of the strictest gun laws on the planet, you can walk into a hardware store in Norway or Finland and buy a suppressor right over the counter because they treat it as basic hearing protection and noise pollution control.
Hey, let me ask you this. Do you think that they have to say it's a fuel filter or a solvent trap? It's a solvent trap.
It's just a solvent trap. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Well, maybe you can do that now. I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway,
probably wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Federal bureaucrats spent 9 decades treating eardrum protection like a national security threat. Now, let me give you the exact details on what this ruling means and what it doesn't mean, so everybody stays on the right side of the law while the dust settles.
You want to stay on the right side of the law, guys?
Yes. Yes. First, what it does do It guts the statutory foundation for the ATF's Form 1 and Form 4 advanced approval registry for suppressors and short-barreled long guns. Once this order goes fully active, members of the participating gun rights organizations and customers of companies like Silencer Shop will be able to buy a suppressor over the counter with a standard Form 4473 background check. That's the regular thing you fill out. The exact same background check you do when buying a standard deer rifle without waiting months for the federal government to bless your purchase, even though they can.
Yeah, they can.
Second, what it does not do. Judge Hendricks placed a 7-day administrative stay on this order to allow the Department of Justice time to file an emergency appeal.
Bullshit.
So
They
don't
shouldn't
go
have done
sprinting
that.
into your local gun shop today expecting cash and carry. Quite yet. Let the legal shit clear first.
Yeah, let them do their jobs.
Yeah. Also, this ruling does not legalize machine guns, which still carry separate federal statutory taxes.
Yeah, because they did not pull the taxes away from that on that order, on that bill.
That'll be full auto. What's that? Full auto and belt fed?
Yeah. But you can buy an FRT. Nothing says BRAP like FRT.
Frirt. I don't think you can hear though.
I'm not sure of that.
Yeah, be careful with that one.
Yeah,
Just look at your laws.
your job to look up gun laws.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I was taught is claiming you didn't know does not save your ass with gun
Yeah.
laws.
Best person to talk to about that usually is like a friend that's a cop. They
Yeah.
always know exactly what's going on with that. But yeah, make sure.
Be sure of that.
So the machine gun still carries separate federal statutory taxes, nor does it override local state level bans in anti-gun states like California or New York.
Bullshit. Should.
I'll get that to go.
Definitely.
But no mistake about it, fam. This is the single biggest legal blow dealt to the National Firearms Act since 1934. It proves that when you cut government taxes and hold federal agencies to the strict text of the Constitution, liberty wins every single time. Hit that like button at the bottom of your screen, share this stream with your 2A buddies, and drop your thoughts in the live chat. We'll be right back with this.
I was throwing the stream. I was sharing.
You're sharing it.
I was sharing
It's
the
a Roman
stream.
salute.
I wasn't even Roman saluting. I was throwing the stream.
Oops.
Yeah. Shut us down. I was throwing my heart. All right, welcome to the big picture, national security climax of tonight's show. Pull up a chair, jump into the live chat, smash the like button. If you're tired of hearing us say smash the like button, actually do it. And let's talk about military firepower, fake news hit jobs, and Donald Trump dropping a hammer on deep state leakers. If you've turned into mainstream corporate television over the last 48 hours, you've seen the fake news industrial complex going into an absolute overdrive. The Washington Post, CBS, and Reuters have practically been running around with their hair on fire, publishing, hard words, I went to school in Bay County, publishing sensationalized, anomalous sourced reports claiming the United States military is running out of missiles. They're running out of headlines, claiming we've expended all of our ACMSs, running critically low on Patriot, PAC-3, MSC, and THAAD interceptors, and that our arsenals are completely depleted after operations in the Middle East. Well, guess who saw those fake news stories and absolutely blew a gasket? President Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
Trump took the Truth Social early this morning and blew the entire corporate media narrative straight out of the water with one of those missiles. He didn't mince words. Okay, he didn't actually use a missile. He didn't mince words. He called those reports 100% fake news, declared that the United States possesses massive amounts of high-tech munitions and announced that American defense contractors are building the largest number of plants and manufacturing factories in our nation's history. And then he laid down the law on the anonymous cowards feeding this propaganda to the media. Trump explicitly warned that the anonymous Pentagon and intelligence leakers peddling these treasonous lies are actively being hunted down, and that the Justice Department will be seeking long-term prison sentences for every single one of them. Now, why are these anonymous bureaucrats leaking this garbage in the first place? Because the Washington establishment hates when an American president projects unapologetic strength. The media ran a total fabricated story claiming that Trump had some big screaming match at Camp David with War Secretary Pete Hegseth over missile supplies. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt and Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell both stepped up immediate and set the record straight, confirming that the entire Camp David story was complete, unadulterated fiction shopped around by bitter deep state operatives. Operatives. Kind of sounded like a rap song to me in my head. It didn't sound as cool when I said it the second time.
Yeah.
But in my brain, very small. Muy poquito. Lost it. I lost it.
You were...
Unadulterated.
Yeah, right there.
Looking, deep state operatives looking to undermine the administration and give comfort to our foreign adversaries. That's why it's treason. Why do you want our adversaries to feel comfortable? I'm just saying. I don't want, Iran to think we're running out of missiles.
No.
I don't want, even if we are, like, let's go. Worst case. We're almost out of missiles. Do you want Iran to know that?
Exactly. No.
Do you want Russia to know that? For all of those Democrats that are supporting Ukraine, you want Russia to know we're almost running out of missiles to give Ukraine?
No.
I'm just saying, what do I know? I'm some dumbass on a podcast that couldn't even get video to work for the first 25 minutes. Let's talk about the actual reality on the ground, because while the media wants you to believe America is sitting defenseless, I just hit Mike Tyson. Defenseless. First off, do you actually believe America is defenseless with our military budget? We have a military budget larger than most countries' GDP. The truth is, the American industrial dominance is waking up like a sleeping giant. Is the U.S. expending munition in combat operations? Of course. When our brave servicemen and women drop precision hardware to neutralize threat drones or anti-ship missiles, that is standard operational military engagement. But rather than running out, the Pentagon under Secretary Pete Hegseth and the newly formed Munitions Acceleration Council is executing the largest defense procurement surge in decades. We are talking about historic multi-year, multi-billion-dollar framework deals with prime contractors like who? Lockheed Martin.
That's how you know.
Raytheon to double, triple, and even quadruple the production of Patriot interceptors, THAAD missiles, and naval defense systems. Defense companies across the United States are expanding production facilities at breakneck speeds, ensuring that our stockpiles aren't just maintained, they are growing stronger and more technologically advanced every single day. And guess where the heart of this military industrial revival is beating strongest? Breathe, Tom. Right here in Northwest Florida.
Woo!
When you hear about advanced precision guided armaments, counter drone systems, and next generation missile integration, that isn't happening in some Washington bureaucrat's office. That is happening right down the road at Eglin Air Force Base. I'm going to break script. They hate it when I break script. They hate it. Do you remember years ago when they tested the Moab at Eglin? The mother of all bombs, basically. They literally, so it's the biggest non-nuclear bomb in our arsenal. And they hadn't tested it yet. They tested it in Eglin. We felt the blast here. It registered as like a small earthquake. They literally broadcast all through Bay County and surrounding counties, hey, we're going to drop this big ass bomb, literally the largest non-nuclear bomb in the American arsenal, just to test it, to make sure. I don't remember what year. Okay, Google, what year did Eglin test the Moab?
Well, fuck.
So they tested it in 2003. So this was like 23 years ago. I'm working right now to get the video back up. Don't mind us. And we're back. So they tested it in 2003. So Eglin's been on top of testing bombs and shit like that for a while. It should come right back on, hopefully.
But yeah, you gotta test them.
You gotta test it.
We're back.
So Eglin's Air Force Research Laboratory Munitions Director and Air Force Material Command are the absolute tip of the spear for developing and testing the exact weapon systems keeping America safe. Right next door, Panhandle Air Force Base, rebuilt after Hurricane Michael, which nobody fucking talks about like it actually happened, is being rebuilt as the high-tech base of the future. It is flying F-35 Lightning II squadrons that seamlessly network into these layered missile defense shields. Florida's defense corridor is seeing an absolute economic boom, all puns intended, bringing thousands of high-paying engineering, manufacturing, and tech jobs straight to Florida families who are building the arsenal of freedom. I like that. That's got a ring to it. The arsenal of freedom. So let's lay out the bottom line. The fake news, corporate media outlets, and treasonous deep state leakers want you to believe America is out of weapons and defenseless. Donald Trump is hunting down the leakers, calling out the fake news, and presiding over the largest defense manufacturing boom in modern American history. Northwest Florida bases like Eglin and Tyndall are driving the research, testing, and deployment that ensures peace through overwhelming American strength. That brings us to the end of tonight's lineup. From local school board battles in Bay County to AI welfare audits in Tallahassee, to legal victories in federal court and Donald Trump taking on deep state leakers. Stay informed, stay free, and smash the button, the like button. Because this is going to wrap up another jam-packed, high-octane episode of Ultra Maga Nation. Now, before you go anywhere, let's talk digital housekeeping. Because we are fighting the mainstream narrative on every single digital battlefield available. If you love truth, if you love freedom, and if you want to make sure you never miss a single minute of the show as long as it's actually playing when we think it's playing, we need you locked in across all of our social media channels. If you're watching us on Rumble right now, smash the green button on the bottom of the screen, hit the follow button, Drop your fiery comment in the live chat and share this video with every single patriot you know. Rumble is our home base for uncensored free speech broadcasting. So let's keep building this community bigger and louder with every single show. If you're catching the replay or watching clips on YouTube, make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and most importantly, click the notification bell icon and set it to all. That way, when big breaking news drops or we go live, YouTube is forced to send your notification straight to your phone before their algorithms can hide us. Head over to X and hit the follow button. Repost our show clips. Tag your friends in the replies. Quote tweet the segments that fire you up the most and help us trend across the timeline. Make sure you're following us on Truth Social. Retruth our posts, leave your comments, and share the show clips with incredible free-loving community over there. If you're hanging on Facebook, give our group a like and follow. Share the stream into your personal timeline. Drop a comment on our posts. Tag your local friends and family, especially our Bay County neighbors, so everyone stays informed on what's happening in our community. Wherever you watch, wherever you listen, remember, liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing isn't just going to support the show. It's how we bypass the big tech algorithms and spread common sense conservative truth across the nation. Thank you so much for tuning in and holding down the live chat and for standing strong for faith, family, and freedom. Keep spreading the word. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and we'll see you right back here on the very next episode of Ultra MAGA Nation. Good night. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
America. Okay.
Where's it at?
I don't know.
It disappeared. All right, we're out. You're just
I just hate you.